YouTube. YouTube? Yeah, we're live. We should be live on YouTube. Let's make sure, see what's going on. Oh, okay. Believe we are. Give me 1 second to switch the account. Okay. Today is June 29, 2021. Excuse me, I'm just getting everything set up. All right, we are live on YouTube. Let's make this happen where we can go live. Let's just fix the date here. So welcome to the Inner Solutions live stream, June 29th, 2021. My name is Jim Cipollini, one of the lead mental health coaches / founder of Inner Solutions, Live Anxiety. And we are here for the live anxiety and mental health Q&A for June 29, 21. Perfect. Woody's here. He's being a little goober. His anxiety is down. The truth is, really interesting to have a dog with high anxiety who's doing really well. All right, so let's go live on Facebook. There we go. And we are live. And we are live. And we are live. All right, fantastic. Good. So glad to be here, guys. Thank you so much for being here. One of my favorite things to do every week is this live stream. So I'm pumped to be here. Our class is booming. If you're interested in hearing more about our class, you can send us a private message at the Inner Solutions Facebook page. We are sharing this live stream in many different Facebook groups, but we do have our own Facebook group as well as a class that has a private Facebook group for class members only. Our goal today is to share, to give insight, to support each other. This is a synergistic relationship. I'm going to encourage you highly to just share where you're at, how you're going, what you're going through, what's happening, what are some of the techniques and tools that you're using, what's working for you, what's not, and just to interact with one another. Obviously, if you have questions, post them in the chat, and we will lend our expertise, myself and Woody's expertise, to whatever you need. So let's make this an active activity. Let's not make this a passive thing. And the more feedback I can get from you guys, the more helpful it is to steer where the conversation goes. Yeah. One resource I want to share with you is this, the Dialectical Behavioral Therapy Skills Workbook. This is something that we go over thoroughly in our class, but I would recommend that this is a resource that you can get that will help you somewhat. I don't believe this is the end-all be-all to working through anxiety, but it's got a hell of a lot of useful tools in it. So this is the Dialectical Behavior Therapy Skills Workbook by Matthew McKay, Jeffrey Wood, Jeffrey Brantley. You can get it on Amazon for like $15 to $17. And, we used all these acronyms, DBT, CBT, IFS, ACT. Jeez. But go throw that out there. Dog's throwing balls onto the table, which is really fun. And the purpose is, like, in order to work through this stuff, you don't necessarily need to know the theory behind them, but you need to know the practicality and the usefulness of them. And that's really what we cover in the class, is we distill down so this workbook is a distilled down version of a much larger textbook. We distill down the workbook into the really just pithy and powerful parts of it all. So get the book. Of course, read our Panic Response Plan book. The more tools in your belt, the better carpenter you are, the better. Yeah. What's up, Bolt? How are you, brother? How's everything, my man? Good to see you. All right, let's get to some of your comments. So what we're going to do here is just share your questions and comments in the chat, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, whatever's on your mind as far as anxiety, mental health in general. Let's get this conversation going. So Katrina says, hey, what's up, Katrina? Rosales, what's up, Rosales? Katrina wants to know, is it normal that I'm at the point that I'm just pissed at myself for being this way? Is it normal? It's definitely common that's a place that people get. It's just to be super, super frustrated. And when there's really no one or nowhere to point that frustration, yeah, it is common to just point the frustration inward. So the age-old meme of depression, Katrina, is rage turned inward. It's a thought pattern that typically is learned environmentally or kind of absorbed environmentally by a parent, by some bullying, by an abusive older brother, something like that. Whereas you have a thought pattern or a raw part of you that's activated and points the blame inward at something like anxiety. Katrina, what I would ask you is, are you choosing to feel this way? A lot of people say happiness is a choice. Well, to a certain extent, that's true. But then there's definitely a kind of inner equation of parts and circumstances and emotions and thoughts that block happiness. Happiness is typically a byproduct of feeling like things are under control, accepting, feeling somewhat safe, and kind of other key meme characteristics like that. But is it normal? Yeah, that's a very common emotion that people go through when they're struggling with panic attacks and anxiety. Katrina, what exactly is being this way? What way are you? I'd love to know more information. Carmen says, hey, what's up, Carmen? Dawn, what's going on, Dawn? Melissa says, hey, Jim, what's up, Melissa? Still trying to wrangle you in, get you involved in our class. Amber, hey everyone, what's up? What's up, Dawn? Amber, everybody, what's up? What's up? Amber says, things have been going well for me. I struggle with health anxiety, and it's worse at work than at home. Interesting. Last week was my first week in 3 months that I was able to work a full week without having a panic attack and needing to leave work. Amber, that's amazing. If I had the button set up to give you a round of applause, I would. Why do you think the health anxiety is worse at work, Amber? Do you work in an environment where you've seen or you've heard or somebody's reinforcing some kind of a health risk? Typically, a health anxiety it starts and is triggered by some form of health trauma right off the bat, or some kind of environmental reinforcement of a belief, like, somebody saying constantly, like, you can't, there's asbestos in here, or, oh, you can't watch this, you can't, watch TV too much, you'll go blind, stuff like that. Melissa says, panic response book is great. Audio, yeah. By the way, the audio version of that panic response plan has extra commentary by yours truly. So thanks for the testimonial, Melissa. Still trying to wrangle you in. Still trying to get you in. Pamela says, I can't shake this sadness and anxiety. Not even sure why. Pamela, yeah, I know why. There's like one of 6 reasons. But you're just caught in kind of an internal feedback loop, Pamela. You need support to break it. I mean, it's really that simple. Unless something kind of pro-traumatic happens to just wrangle you out of it, there is kind of no magic pill. It takes work. And so the question I pose to you, Pamela, and I'm not trying to call you out or be aggressive, but just truthfully in a grounded way, it's like, what are you doing to make your situation better? What support are you gaining? What kind of work are you doing? What changes in behaviors have you had? Things like that. Because there's a lot that you can do. And, for the most part, we find that people aren't doing everything even if they're telling themselves, I'm doing everything I can, it's like, well, no, you're not. And I mean that respectfully. I mean that in a hopeful way. It's a good thing. If you were doing everything you could and it wasn't working, that would be trouble. Trouble. Katrina says, I would never choose to be this way, nor wish it on anyone. Not being able to leave home, haven't left home in almost 8 months. I'm sorry. First of all, I'm sorry, Katrina. That's brutal. Absolutely brutal. I would encourage you to leave home spontaneously. Don't think about it. Just do it sometime. Just leave home for a little bit. And the worst part of the anxiety is typically the anticipation. So like if you were just to go out and leave home now, you just go out and leave home. You wouldn't be thinking about it. You wouldn't be stewing about it. You wouldn't be ruminating. Speaking of leaving home, see this? These guys left home on like a 30-year mission. Half of them didn't make it. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, Katrina, the worst part is by far the anticipation, the rumination, and that avoidance, the 8 months of not leaving home. The avoidance really reinforces the anxiety and makes it 50 times harder to leave the house. Yeah, absolutely. So I don't wish it upon you, Katrina. I promise you, though, you are definitely not stuck. What are you doing to make your situation better, Katrina? What type of support are you getting? Truthfully, it's you just in most states like that, you just can't get through it without support. And there's a lot of options. A lot of options. Amber says, I had a choking incident at work. Okay, so there's a trauma over there, right? That's a trauma response. Have the panic attack in the spot where there was a trauma. Yeah, I mean that's. So what I would recommend you do, Amber, is you do some kind of systematic desensitization. Get yourself in a relaxed state. So there's a couple ways you can do it. So this is a form of exposure therapy. Get yourself in a relaxed state. Think about work. Think about chewing your food thoroughly. Think about swallowing it. And then what I encourage you to do when you feel like that's just, you feel indifferent and that's no problem, you go to work and you eat. Yeah, you eat exactly where you choked. And maybe you even eat the same food. And you take tiny bites, you chew it very slowly, and you just eat and swallow and eat and swallow and eat and swallow. And it feels good and it'll go down. And then eventually you will desensitize to that. So if you really want to be intentional and really nip it in the bud, that's what I would recommend. So that form of exposure therapy. Joe says, God bless you, Katrina. God bless us. Every one of us. Let me check over at YouTube. Dr. Bolt, I am good. Going to be eating soon. Good. Hope you're eating some leafy greens and a high protein, high fat breakfast, because that's anxiety food. That helps with anxiety. Anxiety food makes it sound like it's going to give you anxiety. Lisa K, hey, has anyone read the book, The Body Keeps the Score? Yeah, Enis loves that book. I'm going to look it up. Keeps the Score. So I haven't read it yet. Enis swears by this. Brain, mind, and body in the healing of trauma. I love it. Bessel van der Kolk, MD. Very cool. So if you want to take a look, this is what it looks like. The Body Keeps the Score. I haven't read it. I'm not going to recommend it. Enis recommends it, but I obviously have to read it before I can recommend it. But cool. Lisa, what did you think about it? Why did that resonate with you so much? Katrina says, I walk every day but can't get past 300 feet. What is so interesting about 300 feet? It's so interesting. 300 feet. Like not 299, not 287, not 311. 300 feet. What happens at 300 feet? Is that a number that you're fixated on? Is that a number that's ruminating in your head? Katrina, I would recommend you get into our class, get into our one-on-one coaching program, get some support. Deal all day with people that are struggling with extremely similar things. Get some support. Joe says, I bought a weighted blanket and I heard it's good for anxiety. What do I think? I think everybody's different, but yeah, I think weighted blankets are definitely helpful to... I'm not sure the mechanism. That's an interesting question. Why do weighted blankets decrease anxiety? I would assume it's like the same thing as kind of being held. Put your autonomic nervous system into rest mode, reducing some of the symptoms of anxiety. Okay. I mean, I'm not sure the mechanism. I would think there's a similar thing that happens. So when, for example, when you're dealing with a child, say like a 5 or 6 year old, and they're hysterical, super hysterical, and they're really, really scared, or they're really, really anxious, or they're really, really upset, if you hold them, like squeeze them, at first they'll rustle and they'll retch and they'll this, but then eventually you'll hear this big, just this exiting of the energy of the body, and then they'll just kind of go limp and be exhausted. And I feel like it's a sense of security, that surrender. And that's really, really, really a metaphor for the state of mind when the anxiety comes. And I love the analogy of like fighting anxiety is like fighting the weather. It's like fighting rain clouds coming through. What are you going to do? It's like fighting the waves in the ocean. So when the anxiety comes, it's a sigh of acceptance, and then a gearing up of, okay, let's go into distract mode. Let's go into soothe mode. Let's go into comfort mode. Yeah. So if I have a weighted blanket, I think it's comforting. I think it's soothing, Joe. If it works for you, I'm pumped, brother. I know in the facility that I worked in, where a lot of kids struggled with anxiety disorders, we had weighted blankets and they helped. And even just with girlfriends I've had, or friends I've had, they like the weighted blanket. This water's so good. Amber says, if there's anything I could do to help support you, feel free to reach out to me. Beautiful. Yeah, guys, feel free to link up with one another. It's beautiful. Joe says, I started the gym again. Hey-o. Hey, Joe. Where you going with that gun in your way? Just kidding. That's awesome, man. What are you working on? Weightlifting, cardio? 30 minutes of cardio, as effective as an SSRI? Kaboom. Like the weighted blanket falls under the category of like a sensory soothing tool, right? Cold showers, cold packs on the back of the neck, all that stuff is incredible. What do we got? Thank you, Amber. Thank you. I'll definitely give it a try. So we call that systematic desensitization, Amber. Yeah. And I know the type of worker you are. You got it. What do we got? I wasn't even going outside, just been pushing myself, and that's just as far as I've gotten, and I now feel stuck. You're not stuck, Katrina. I promise you, you're not stuck. I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but you just need a little bit more support. Support in designing those exposure experiments. Support in helping you work with the thoughts. Working that cognitive behavioral therapy, working that thought replacement therapy, working the mindfulness to allow your thoughts to flow through instead of resist them and stop them. And then also just emotional support, like one-on-one direct support like, hey, you're doing the right thing, helping guide you through the experience. A lot of what dealing with anxiety can be is being able to emotionally prepare for situations. So what we're doing is we're finding the continuity in the patterns, in the feedback loops, in the anxiety, in the exposure experiments. We're setting our expectations and recalibrating our mind to be like, okay, hey, all that should nonsense that my brain's telling me I should be able to drive, I should be able to get on the throughway, I should be able to go over a bridge, that's nonsense. What we're going to do is we're going to be open and try, right? Okay, here we go. So when I start to feel dizzy, well, what if I feel dizzy when I drive? Well, so what? So I'll pull over. That's fine. Well, what if I'm on the bridge? Well, so what? I'll breathe a little slow. Being on the bridge is less than a minute long, and I'll just get in the right lane and drive slow. So what? What if I hold up traffic? So what? But wait. It's my favorite part of the Dare book, turning the what ifs into so what. Favorite part. What if? So what? What if I have a panic attack when I'm alone with my kids? Well, so what? They know how to call 911. Or so what? Panic attacks last 5 minutes. They'll be okay. What if I'm in public and have a panic attack? Well, so what? Somebody will probably call 911 for you if you need it. When you have a panic attack, it's not like you can't speak or can't function. And the thing that causes you to feel like you can't function is the thoughts, is the escalation. It's like, so. Katrina, you're doing great. You're doing the right thing. I promise you, you can go further. You can go further. Don't expect to take a walk and not have anxiety. Expect to take a walk. When you have anxiety, take a break, regroup, get back on the walk. If you feel it again, take a break, regroup. Get to your destination, turn around, come back, take a break. And I promise you, once you start walking back towards home, you'll start to feel way better. But get comfortable out in that uncomfortable zone. That's what we're trying to do. That's how you really overcome anxiety. You get comfortable in the uncomfortable. You get comfortable in the unsafe because it's safe. It's fine. But yeah, I get you, Katrina. We all love you here, and you got lots of people that got your back. Take advantage of it. Don't do the I should thing. I should be strong on my own. No, I needed tons of support. Friends, teachers, mentors, girlfriend, my girlfriend at the time. It's okay to take up space. It's okay to need support and love. You would definitely give it to somebody else. Little great job for my man Joe. Cool. Dawn says, my therapist suggested a weighted blanket. Yeah, sensory soothing tool. I suggest smell as number one. Smell is the best, in my opinion. That's just in my humble opinion. Does IMHO stand for in my honest opinion or in my humble opinion or both at the same time? Because I like it. Marie, what's up? How are you? So good to see you. Joe says, cardio 40 minutes, Joe. I love it, man. Keep it up, brother. Absolutely. Guys, take a note from Joe. That cardio, whether it's walking, jogging, the kind of high-intensity interval training, P90X, I don't care what it is. Get that cardio in as best as you can. Know that you're okay, because you are. What do we got? Felicia. What's up, Felicia? You guys don't know how much you help me with my anxiety. It's under control as long as I keep a positive attitude and remember the things you guys talked about. It really does work. Thank you so much. Felicia, I'm going to cut and paste this and keep it as a testimonial. And do you know why? Because it's a beautiful message. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm putting it in my testimonial folder. You just made the list, Felicia. And the smiley faces. And with hearts. My girl's going to be jealous. Just kidding. What do you say we put on a little background noise here, a little nature sounds, just to soothe the soul. Come on, y'all. Oh, how nice is that? It's beautiful. Thank you so much for the testimonial, Felicia. Hope that's okay. Alva, what's up? How can I feel in the present? So there's a couple different ways to get out of your head, Alva. So I need a little more information, though. What's happening? When you say in the present, does that mean like you're in your mind ruminating? Are you stuck in like some kind of traumatic event? Give me a little more information so I can more aptly give you a really powerful suggestion. What really helped you? Oh, yeah. Alva, there's just a whole bunch of techniques and tools that we teach that are universal. Melody, what's up? Changing what if to so what has helped me a ton. Thank you. Hey, I'm pumped that you're getting some value from it, Melody. Go tell your friends who are struggling, please. Woody needs some new mittens for the wintertime. Just kidding. No, lots of love to you. Good mental health, and glad you're implementing the techniques. Jason says, listening in on this weekly chat, your PRP and the Curable app have been the most beneficial tools for me to overcome anxiety and panic attacks. I feel like I'm getting closer to where I want to be. Hell yeah, Jason. Keep it up, brother. Keep it up, man. Where are you at right now, Jason? Where's your trouble zones? What are you working on? Nikki, what's up? How are you? Tandra, how are you? Hi, everyone. How do I deal with sleep anxiety symptoms? Insomnia, racing heart. Yeah, so what you do is just as a general rule of thumb, you alleviate the pressure to sleep. So the party that's like, I need to sleep, I'm exhausted, I need to sleep. It just doesn't work that way. So you have to be like, hey, if my body's not going to sleep, that's fine. I'm going to watch a little TV or maybe journal a little bit. But as far as dealing with the physical symptoms, it's exactly the same as dealing with them during the day. So you feel them, and you have to feel them without a pressure. You feel them. My heart's racing. Notice how you feel towards it. Maybe your heart starts racing and you start to panic a little bit, but you're safe. So maybe you need to reinforce that, hey, I'm totally safe. I'm totally safe. I'm not in a rush. The insomnia, again, you have to alleviate the pressure of trying to sleep. Sleep just happens. If you're sitting home like, I need to fall asleep, I need to fall asleep, I need to fall asleep, I'm going to be tired, I'm going to be this, you really got to decatastrophize and say, well, my body doesn't want to sleep, so it's okay if I'm a little tired tomorrow, or it is what it is. Like, it's okay. Like, it's not ideal, but I can handle it. You go into that kind of radical acceptance phase where it's just, hey, this is what it is. Like, this is, there's no moment different than this moment. I can't change what's happened. I can just deal with what's happening right now. And some suggestions I would give to you, Tandra, that like a sleep therapist would say, get out of bed, go sit somewhere that's not super comfortable, like maybe sit on the edge of the couch for 10 minutes, do some journaling, put on something soothing, get maybe make sure you're in comfortable clothes, maybe take a shower to reset, and cool yourself off. Nice little cold pack on the back of the neck. Make sure that your mind isn't too stimulated with TV or anything like that. But you just got to find your equation. But the universal answer is alleviate the pressure, decatastrophize, and just, if sleep's going to happen, it's going to happen. Otherwise, find something soothing to do. Nikki's laughing. What are you laughing at, Nicole? Laughing. What's up, Ann? Ann, I can literally hear you saying hi every time you say it. Just typing it in the chat. I love it. At first I was scared, but then I told myself, stop being a punk. Whoa, bro. Stop being a punk. Damn, dude. It's only anxiety, nothing gonna happen, and I did the cardio. Hey, man, whatever works for you. Stop being a punk. I like it. Who's the punk, though? The anxiety's the punk, or you're the punk for giving into the anxiety? I like your terminology. I respect it. Back to YouTube. Lisa K says, there's a part about the book, The Body Keeps the Score, that spoke to me about trauma, anxiety, depression, often makes not in charge of yourself. It says that you have to try to take back being in charge of yourself, reestablishing. Ownership of your body, mind, and self. It went on to talking about feeling free to know what I know, feel what I feel without becoming overwhelmed, enraged, ashamed, or collapsed. Just made sense to me with how hard I am on myself. I agree. Enis sent me this excerpt from this book, Letting Go. Let me see if I have it. And the basis of it was like, the practice of letting go is what can lead you to letting go involves being aware. So this is a book, Letting Go, by David Hawkins. Letting go involves being aware of a feeling, letting it come up, staying with it, and letting it run its course without wanting to make it different or do anything about it. So this is like the ultimate acceptance. A feeling comes up. You don't resist it. You don't try to fight it. You let it flow through you. You let it run its course. You partially surrender, but you partially are present with it. You are that observer behind the feeling, behind the experience. That's pretty heady, but it is what it is. Nikki says, yes, y'all are amazing and I love it here. All right. Well, I love having you here. All of y'all. Excuse me. Amber says, that's awesome to Joe. My next goal is to get in the gym and get over that fear. Do it. Use the tools. You're safe. The last time I almost had a panic attack was on a treadmill. My heart skipped a beat. I felt that just a quick flood, like, what? And then it was like, you're fine. Heart skipped a beat, no problem. Nikki says she's been having insomnia for the past 3 days. Woke up gasping for air this morning with racing heart. So scary. Woke up my husband, so it must have been pretty intense. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you go through seasons a little bit with the anxiety as well. Sometimes it doesn't seem like there's a clear rhyme or reason, but there is. We understand a lot about anxiety, but we definitely don't understand everything. And so what we understand is beautiful and enough to really work through it in the long term, but it's always getting better. We're always up on the research. We're always updating our curriculum. We're always updating, we're about to forge into an update on the PRP. I love it. Joe says, what's up with the electricity around the stomach? Is that a symptom of anxiety? It can be, yeah. I mean, this might be a stupid question, but is like your finger in a socket? Because that might be number one. All right, it's not funny, I know. Yeah, so, I mean, as far as just like uneasiness or unnerving in the stomach, yeah. One of the top symptoms of anxiety. I also had that at the beginning of my anxiety. The thing that helped the most for me was meditation before bed, and I also read the feedback loop over and over, which really made me feel like I understood what was happening with my body and gave me some comfort. You read the section of the PRP about the feedback loop? Yeah, so it's like, I love that. When it's formulaic and you see the pattern and you realize it's not just like unbridled chaos, that there is some form of pattern and order, yeah. It becomes much easier to digest. Because it's almost like in the chaos of anxiety, how kind of unpredictable, you may be on the couch and it kicks up, you maybe just come out of your sleep with it. There's almost like a barrier to trust the information that we give you. Once it locks in your system, it's like, oh, okay. This is what they talked about. So if this is what they talked about and that makes sense, then this must work. And then you just need the reassurance of like, no, it doesn't work instantly. It needs repetition and walk you through that. And then it's just removing these kind of psychological doubts and blocks. Joe says, mate. Not really sure what that's about, Joe, but you. Alva says, sorry, I meant to say like thinking present instead of past or having negative thoughts, and it's what's draining my mind, yeah. So, Alva, there's a lot of tools for that. Mindfulness meditation is where I'd start for you. I would meditate as often as you possibly can. I mean, 5 times a day is not too much at all. Every couple of hours for about 10 minutes, you do a guided mindfulness meditation, which is just sitting, kind of observing different parts of your body, observing your thoughts, observing your body's reaction to your thoughts, observing your body's reaction to your body, observing your thoughts' reaction to your body, and just becoming more aware. And some other things you can do are just mindfulness exercises like, what do I see? I see a computer screen. I see the word Joe. I see hearts and a smiley face. I see a water bottle. I see a phone. I see a keyboard and a mouse. I taste this water. And just slowing down the mind to be more present. Really what it is, Alva, is that your mind is in a way addictive and really focused on your thoughts. And so you're training your mind where you want it to focus on. And so presence and being in this moment. First of all, you can't shut off the thoughts. Don't try to. You can try to redirect your focus. And just be here. And just lead with a new part of your brain that says, no, we don't have to do anything else. We don't have to worry about the past. That's okay. Welcome those thoughts in. Like, come on in. Like, you can run your course. That's okay. I don't need to give merit to you. I don't need to believe you, whatever. Alva, if you want some supplemental material, I recommend a guy named Eckhart Tolle. Let's see. There's a book called The Power of Now, which is like one of the top-selling books of all time. It looks like this. The Power of Now, A Guide to Spiritual Enlightenment by Eckhart Tolle. So it's all about what you're talking about. It's just a lot of reinforcement and meditations. And this guy has an amazing YouTube channel as well. Eckhart Tolle. And his YouTube channel is full of meditations, lectures, and things just about being present in the present moment and ways to reinforce what you're asking for. It's really powerful stuff. And pretty secular. It's not a religious thing. Jason says, doing some cognitive behavioral therapy or CBT to reframe, rename physical symptoms using the phrase uncomfortable sensations instead of pain. That's so interesting, Jason, that your brain defaulted to pain. Yeah, I love that. These are just, hey, it's just uncomfortable. The physical sensations without the thoughts, without the story, not even without the thoughts. You can let the thoughts flow through, but you just don't have to believe them. Just reinforce. It's just a physical sensation. These thoughts are a symptom. It's just a physical sensation. I love it, Jason. Good work, brother. Nikki said, I used to have it all the time. Then it went away. Now it resurfaced and I hate it. 3 nights in a row. I was taking meds for it, but I don't want to do that anymore. It's the same thing. I mean, radical acceptance, Nikki. And Tandra's saying the same thing. Thanks, that really helped believe because I'm pressuring myself to fall asleep because of work. Yeah, Tandra, you got to back off and just... I'll be quiet. Joe says, the punk in the gym is me. I got you, Joe. I love it. Good for you, man. I'm glad it works for... Look, man, everybody's a little bit different. Like I said, Enis that was the type when he got sick of his anxiety, it was like, bring it on. Kind of F you. Like, go ahead. Make my heart go faster. And he has the same kind of energy that you're talking about. Like, I'm just being a punk. I'm not doing that. And just that stubbornness, that will that pushes you through. And once you kind of break that barrier, the more often you break it, it's like when a dog breaks through the invisible fence. First time he might break through a little bit, and then he gets a little scared. Second time he breaks through, and then he gets a little further, and then he gets scared. After that, it's just like he breaks through and realizes, like, oh, there's a little bit of shock. It's not a big deal. Felicia says, facing my anxiety like he keeps telling me nothing's going to happen to me. Change my way of thinking, like saying what I'm going to do tomorrow. Plan stuff to change my mind, my eating habits, and keeping at least 3 people on an emergency call to talk to you so your mind wants to go off and start panicking. And breathing really helps. I hope this helps you. All of it. All of it. The best defense is a strong offense. But you can prep, and it's like a war. It's like you can train. You can get your ammunition ready. You can get your guns clean. Eventually, you got to go in. You got to go in. You go in. You got to make it happen. Go into the thing that scares you. You got this. Everyone should meditate. I agree. Except I don't like should statements because those are on our list of cognitive distortions. No, just kidding. They actually are. I agree. I think meditation is it's rated high, but it's still underrated. Shelly says, hello, happy Tuesday. My anxiety's been a bit high this week. My husband had to drive me to work, so I just subscribed to the Dare app, and that has been helping a bit for the driving and health anxiety. Very cool, Shelly. Very, very cool. Bonnie, what's up? I like your emote. What's poppin'? Love the Dare app. Great, yeah. Dare is fantastic. I have it right here. Yee-hoo. I love Dare. It's missing a few things, though. Great for panic attacks. I don't... Yeah, it's definitely... It's awesome. I'm going to criticize Dare. Dare's a classic. Criticize Dare. What do we got? I'm loving it. Worth the money. Great. Michelle says, we are in a heat wave right now, and it's been spiking my anxiety. Why do you think, Michelle? Do you feel trapped? That's a common thing. Feeling trapped. It's a big trigger for anxiety. Traffic, being trapped, elevators. I had a client who deathly afraid of elevators and being stuck in traffic. We were working for about 5 weeks. And man, has he turned a corner. He was stuck in traffic and had zero anxiety. You know what a lot of it was, and this is actually this has been a theme really commonly, is that he just had a lot of pent up emotion, a lot. So once he started feeling safe in our sessions and feeling like I was, a bit of a confidant, he started sharing, and it just was like, that balloon releasing the air. Psst. It's so great. So what is it about the heat wave, Michelle? Makes me feel trapped and harder to breathe. Oh, I see. I didn't know if you felt like trapped in the house, like I can't go outside, it's too hot. So when you get out in the heat, you feel hot. Your body's already hot. Yeah. I would spend more time out in the heat, Michelle. I'd bring some cold packs. I'd bring some cold water. Spend some more time out in there. Part of it is just your body acclimating, but what's happening is you're fine. Physically, you're not in danger, but once that starts to escalate, that becomes the start of the feedback loop. Just like when your heart skips a beat. So the body heats up and it triggers this thought, oh my God, am I overheating? Or, oh my God, this is so uncomfortable. I can't breathe. And it becomes somatic. Without the story, it's just hot, sweaty. These noises are so soothing. Nikki says, yes, I'm scared of elevators as well. I want to get rid of that fear too. Yeah, I mean, what is the closest you can get to an elevator, Nikki? Can you think of one? Can you look at a picture of one? Can you watch a video of an elevator? Elevator. Yeah, elevators are one of the most common things. It's a trap. I can't go past the third floor. What is that? In what way? I mean, if you were going to do an exposure experiment with the elevator, it's just like we talk about in class. What's the closest you can get to an elevator and be on like a level like 10 out of 100? It's so interesting, but why the third floor? I would think it's be the duration of how long you're on the elevator floor for. So a fast elevator, maybe you get up to the 5th floor. It's so interesting. So it's like the higher, are you nervous about it crashing? What's the fear? I don't get it. The body keeps the score. Yeah, I should order that book. I had a client tell me about this book. What Happened to You? Conversations on Trauma, Resilience, and Healing. Bruce Perry and Oprah Winfrey. I just read the first chapter. It seemed cool. Interesting about trauma. I mean, I feel like I get it. Trauma just creates this fragmentation in your integration of your emotional system a lot of times. Shocks to the system, creates polarization. There's a lot of isations. But truthfully, it's like traumatic events create these polarized parts of yourself. So you intellectually, your rational part knows that you're being irrational. However, this kind of unintegrated part of you, this fear, this anxiety, this panic, needs to be coddled, soothed, reintegrated. And one of the ways you do that is through, deeper emotional work. One of the ways you do that is through the exposure therapy, rehabituating your system. It's kind of like if, you're smoothing out some wet cement, somebody comes through and they just punch their hand through it. You got to massage and re-smooth that section and a little wider than that. And so you massage and smooth. That's like the exposure therapy with the new tools and reframing and cognitive behavioral therapy. Then eventually it's smoothed back, and then eventually the whole block looks good again. But you hit that punch, and like you'll have little bits of ripple effect. You'll spill some over here, and you just got to get it all back and smooth. It's a decent metaphor. The more floor, what's going on? Gina, what's up? Love yourself and be gentle and push through. Yeah, so we always say compassion, patience, firmness. Compassion, patience, firmness. It's like the code of the samurai. Compassion, patience, firmness. Compassion with yourself. Being gentle with yourself, not beating up with yourself. Patience is in, this is not an overnight process. Patience, repetition, and then firmness. I will keep engaging. I will keep regrouping and re-engaging and re-engaging and re-engaging until we're out of the woods. Nikki says, the more floors, I feel like it might stop. Oh, and get trapped, I see. Cindy says, hi, Jim. Hello, everyone. What's up, Cindy? How are you? Good to see you. Hi. Hi, yeah. Good to see you. So I think we're good. Let me check YouTube. I think we answered all the questions so far. Get in your final questions if you want to. So a couple announcements are class enrollment is open. If you're interested in joining our class, message us here on Facebook. It's fantastic. We are upgrading and upgrading our curriculum so that it's even more succinct, and just join our class to have that map of how to work through panic and anxiety. We touch on it here. We touch on the topics, but truthfully, the class is full of exercises and homework. It goes much more into depth with how to apply the certain techniques, and it's also littered with a private Q&A every week, so that you get people in the class get these really wonderful mini one-on-one sessions and get the reinforcement they need. So that class open enrollment is always going. Cindy, just message me here on Facebook and be happy to get it to you. Also, one-on-one sessions are always open. I think I have some openings as well as Enis as well. You can request whoever you'd like to work with if you have a preference. No, just kidding. You can definitely, Valerie, just shoot us a message here on Facebook. It's kind of works like a subscription service, and there are partial scholarships available as well if even the regular tuition is too much for you. It really is, you can't beat it as far as giving you the tools you need and reinforcing the stuff in you. You just can't beat it, and we make it as affordable for everybody. Everybody. So really message us, follow through. We find that people that wait or say, I'll do it next, it's like, this is not a magic thing that's going to go away. You got to put in the work, and it's not too much work, I promise. We make it very digestible. As far as one-on-one stuff, just message us here on Facebook. What else? If you want a copy of the Panic Response Plan, I will post the link right now in the chat. That is free, our gift to you, because we love you all so much, and also because we have I have a big, beautiful Italian heart, and I just want to help. No, but seriously, it is a really a hell of a resource. Let me get it here. There it is. Panic Response Plan. So it's a Google Drive link. There's an audiobook, and at the bottom, a PDF. Classes are Monday and Thursday right now, although, nope, I did not do that right. Let me get that. Hold on. I'm doing too many things at once. Right now, they're Monday and Thursday. We will be having classes eventually every single day. Every single day. And the beautiful thing is now classes are on demand if you're a member of the class group. So you can watch them every single day or multiple times a day, or just put it on a loop repeat and listen to it all day, because it's great. So that's the Panic Response Plan. Feel free to click that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah. Other than that, please, if you think there's somebody that this, any resources we have, whether it's this live stream, the Panic Response Plan book, or our class or some one-on-one coaching would help them, please refer them to us. We really are here to help. Our goal is to help 1 million people by 2025. So we're on our way, but please spread the word as much as possible. And other than that, the only thing I have to say is no matter how lost you feel, no matter how bad your mental health, you think your mental health is, or your anxiety, no matter how long you've been struggling, I promise you, you're never, ever stuck. You just need some support. My name is Jim Cipollini, lead coach here at Inner Solutions. Thank you guys so much. Lots of love and good mental health. We'll see you soon. Thanks.